Failure is not the end of the road, it's the bridge that leads to success. Cross it with courage. Failure is the beginning of growth, the birthplace of resilience. When you fall, it's not about staying down, it's about learning how to get back up stronger than before. Every successful person has faced failure. They didn't avoid it, they embraced it, learned from it, and used it as fuel to achieve greatness. If you want to turn failure into success, the first step is to change your perspective. Too often, failure is seen as a sign of weakness or incompetence. But in reality, failure is proof that you're trying, that you're pushing your limits. It means you're on the journey to greatness because no one ever achieves success without facing setbacks along the way. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost nearly 300 games and was trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed 26 times. Yet he is remembered not for his failures, but for his perseverance and countless victories. Why? Because he didn't fear failure. He learned from it. When you face failure, don't ask, why me? Instead ask, what can I learn from this? Every failure carries a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you patience, resilience, or a better way to achieve your goals. Maybe it's showing you a new path or helping you build the strength you need for the next challenge. Failure refines you. It builds character. It teaches you to adapt, to innovate, and to keep going even when the odds are against you. Successful people don't let failure define them. They don't dwell on their mistakes or allow setbacks to shatter their confidence. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and move forward with even more determination. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. That's the mindset of a champion, seeing failure as a stepping stone to success. If you want to turn your setbacks into comebacks, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. It's the rough draft before the masterpiece, the practice before the victory. When you fail, don't lose hope. Don't give up on your dreams. Remember, pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. Keep pushing forward, keep learning, keep growing. Because the only difference between those who succeed and those who give up is perseverance. If you're willing to learn from failure, nothing can stop you from achieving greatness. Failure is often seen as the end of the road, but for many successful people, it was just the beginning. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of setbacks and perseverance. When you look at the lives of the most influential people in history, you'll see one common thread. They faced failure and used it as fuel to succeed. If you're struggling with setbacks, remember that failure is not a sign of defeat. It's a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was fired from the very company he founded, Apple. Imagine the humiliation, the frustration, but instead of giving up, he used this failure to fuel his passion. Jobs went on to create Next and Pixar, both wildly successful ventures. Eventually, he returned to Apple, transforming it into one of the most valuable companies in the world. His story teaches us that failure can be a turning point, a moment to reinvent yourself and come back stronger. Oprah Winfrey is another powerful example. She was fired from her first television job as a news anchor, told she was unfit for TV. Most people would have been devastated, but Oprah didn't let this setback define her. She turned her pain into power, launching her own talk show that became one of the most influential platforms in history. Today, she's a billionaire and a global icon. Her story shows that rejection, is just a redirection towards something even greater. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, didn't make his high school varsity team. Can you imagine? One of the greatest athletes in history was told he wasn't good enough, but he didn't quit. Instead, he used that failure to work harder, practice longer, and push beyond his limits. Jordan once said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His story proves that failure is not a reason to give up. It's a reason to push even harder. J.K. Rowling's journey to success wasn't any easier. Before becoming one of the best-selling authors of all time, she faced numerous rejections from publishers. She was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. But she didn't let failure stop her. She believed in her story, kept writing, and eventually Harry Potter was published. Today, her books have sold over 500 million copies worldwide. Her story teaches us that persistence in the face of rejection is the key to success. These stories aren't just about people achieving greatness. They're about resilience, courage, and the power of perseverance. They remind us that failure is not the end, it's merely a chapter in the journey to success. If these icons had given up after their first setback, the world would have never known their greatness. So, the next time you face failure, remember these stories. Know that every setback is setting you up for a comeback. Every rejection is redirection. And every failure is simply another step towards success. Fear of failure is one of the biggest obstacles to success. It holds people back, paralyzes dreams, and keeps potential locked away. But here's the truth. Failure is not something to be feared, it's something to be embraced. Every great achiever has faced setbacks, made mistakes, and stumbled along the way. The difference? They didn't let fear stop them. They turned their fear into fuel and their setbacks into comebacks. If you want to succeed, you must learn how to overcome the fear of failure. The first step is to change how you see failure. Most people view failure as the end, as proof they're not good enough. But failure is not final. It's simply feedback. It's life's way of teaching you, of helping you grow stronger and smarter. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he failed over 1,000 times, but he didn't see those attempts as failures. He saw them as steps closer to success, as lessons in what didn't work. He once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is what led him to ultimate success. One powerful way to overcome fear of failure is to embrace a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are set in stone. They either have talent or they don't. But people with a growth mindset understand that abilities can be developed through hard work and perseverance. They see failure as an opportunity to learn and improve, not as a reflection of their worth. This mindset shift is powerful because it frees you from the fear of not being good enough. It allows you to see mistakes as a necessary part of the journey to success. Another strategy is to redefine failure in your mind. Instead of seeing it as a setback, see it as a setup for growth. Every successful person has faced rejection, criticism, and setbacks. But they didn't let fear stop them. They understood that failure is just a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Even Albert Einstein was labeled slow by his teachers. Yet they all went on to achieve extraordinary success because they didn't let fear of failure define them. Action is the antidote to fear. The more you hesitate, the stronger your fears become. But when you take action, even if you fail, you gain experience and confidence. Start small. Take one step forward, even if it's not perfect. Each step will make you stronger, braver, and more resilient. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's taking action despite fear. Learn to embrace rejection. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every closed door leads you to new opportunities. When J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers, she didn't give up. She believed in her story, kept pushing forward, and eventually became one of the best-selling authors of all time. Her success wasn't because she never faced failure, it was because she never let failure stop her. If you want to overcome the fear of failure, you must be willing to fail forward. Learn from every setback, grow from every mistake, and keep moving forward with courage and resilience. Your mindset is the foundation of your success. It shapes how you see challenges, how you handle setbacks, and ultimately, how far you go in life. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who give up often comes down to one thing: mindset. If you want to transform failure into success, you need to make a powerful shift in how you think. You need to adopt a mindset that sees possibilities, not limitations. A mindset that views failure not as a defeat, but as a stepping stone to success. The first step to achieving this is to see failure as feedback, not as a final verdict. Most people fear failure because they see it as proof that they're not good enough. But failure doesn't mean you're incapable, it means you're growing. It means you're pushing your limits and stepping out of your comfort zone. When you fail, it's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to learn, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. Successful people don't avoid failure, they embrace it. To shift your mindset, adopt the habit of asking powerful questions when you face failure. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I grow from this experience?" These questions shift your focus from self-doubt to self-improvement. They help you analyze your mistakes, learn valuable lessons, and come back stronger. This mindset is what separates winners from quitters. It's what allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary success. Another important aspect of a success-oriented mindset is resilience. Life will knock you down. You will face rejection, criticism, and setbacks. But how you respond to those challenges is what defines your success. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to keep going even when things get tough. It's the mindset that says, "I will not give up, no matter how hard it gets." When Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, he didn't quit. He used that setback as motivation to train harder, eventually becoming one of the greatest basketball players in history. That's the power of resilience. One of the most powerful mindset shifts is to see failure as part of the journey, not the end of it. Every success story is filled with failures. Oprah Winfrey faced numerous rejections before becoming a global icon. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before his KFC recipe was accepted. They all faced failure, but they didn't give up. They understood that failure is just a chapter in the story of success. To build a success mindset, surround yourself with positive influences. Read inspirational books, listen to motivational speakers, and associate with people who uplift and encourage you. Your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset. When you surround yourself with positivity and success-driven individuals, you start to think bigger, dream bolder, and push through challenges with courage and resilience. Remember that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is a lesson that brings you closer to your goals. When you shift your mindset from fear of failure to embracing growth, you unlock your true potential. You gain the courage to chase your dreams, to rise above challenges, and to turn every failure into a stepping stone to greatness. Failure is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of growth. Every setback you face carries a valuable lesson, a hidden opportunity to learn and become stronger. If you want to turn failure into success, you must be willing to learn from it. The most successful people in history didn't avoid failure. They embraced it, analyzed it, and used it as a stepping stone to greatness. If you can master this mindset, no failure can ever stop you. The first step to learning from failure is to take responsibility. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. But the moment you do that, you give away your power. Successful people don't make excuses, they take ownership. When they fail, they don't look for someone to blame. Instead, they ask themselves, what could I have done differently? This mindset of accountability is powerful because it puts you in control of your destiny. It allows you to learn from your mistakes and come back even stronger. Once you take responsibility, the next step is to analyze the failure. Don't just move on and forget about it. Take the time to reflect. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Why did it happen? What can I learn from this? Be honest with yourself, but don't be overly critical. The goal is not to dwell on the failure, but to understand it. Break down the situation, identify the mistakes, and find the gaps in your strategy. This analysis will give you valuable insights and prevent you from repeating the same mistakes. One powerful strategy for learning from failure is to seek feedback. Don't be afraid to ask others for their perspective, whether it's a mentor, a colleague, or a trusted friend. Getting outside opinions can provide you with insights you may have missed. Successful people are not afraid of criticism. They welcome it. They understand that feedback, even when harsh, is a gift that helps them grow. So keep your ego aside, be open to constructive criticism, and use it to improve yourself. After analyzing the failure and gathering feedback, the next step is to create an action plan. Learning is meaningless if you don't apply it. Use the lessons you've learned to make better decisions, improve your strategy, and take smarter actions. If you failed because of poor time management, plan your schedule more effectively. If you made mistakes due to a lack of knowledge, invest in learning and skill development. Whatever the lesson, use it to evolve and come back stronger. Failure also teaches resilience. When you face setbacks and rise above them, you build mental toughness. You learn to persevere even when things get tough. This resilience is the key to long-term success, because nothing great is achieved without challenges. Thomas Edison faced over 1,000 failed attempts before inventing the light bulb. Each failure taught him what didn't work, bringing him one step closer to success. He didn't give up because he learned from every setback. That's the power of resilience. Remember that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every mistake is a lesson, and every setback is a setup for a comeback. When you learn from failure, you grow wiser, stronger, and more prepared for future challenges. So don't fear failure. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your journey to greatness. Success doesn't come easy. It demands perseverance, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit. One of the most important keys to success is the ability to never give up, no matter how many times you fail or how tough the journey becomes. The road to greatness is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and challenges, but those who succeed are the ones who keep pushing forward. They understand that failure is not the end, it's just a step on the path to success. Look at the stories of the most successful people in history, and you'll see a common thread. They never gave up. When Colonel Sanders first proposed his famous fried chicken recipe, he was rejected 1,009 times. Most people would have quit after a few rejections. but not him. He believed in his vision, kept knocking on doors, and eventually founded KFC, one of the most successful fast food chains in the world. His story proves that perseverance can turn rejection into triumph. Another incredible example is Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper job because he was told he lacked creativity. Can you imagine? The man who would go on to create some of the most beloved characters and stories of all time was once told he wasn't good enough. But he didn't let that stop him. He faced bankruptcy, failure, and rejection countless times. Yet he kept moving forward, believing in his dreams. Today, Disney is a name synonymous with magic and success. His story shows that persistence and unwavering belief in your vision are the keys to turning failure into success. Never giving up is about having a vision so strong that no setback can shake it. It's about being resilient in the face of adversity. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost nearly 300 games and was trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed 26 times. But he didn't let failure define him. Instead, he used it as motivation to practice harder, train longer, and perfect his craft. He once said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His story shows that failure is not a reason to quit, it's a reason to push even harder. To develop the mindset of never giving up, you must embrace resilience. Life will knock you down, it's inevitable, but it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. When you face setbacks, don't give in to self-doubt or fear. Use the pain as fuel, the criticism as motivation, and the failures as lessons. Keep moving forward even if the progress is slow. Every step brings you closer to your dreams. One powerful way to build perseverance is to stay focused on your vision. When you know why you're pursuing a goal, it gives you the strength to keep going, no matter how tough the journey becomes. Remind yourself of your purpose, your dreams, and the impact you want to make. Let that vision guide you, inspire you, and keep you moving forward even when the road gets rough. Every great achievement was once considered impossible. Every successful person was once an underdog, facing challenges and failures. But they didn't quit. They persevered, they believed, and they conquered. If you want to succeed, you must be willing to keep going, no matter what. Never give up, and you'll turn every setback into a setup for a comeback.